Jolly good day, all chapsters, over here, ready with another Minecraft video. Today, we're actually back at the game as usual, as we have made quite a bit of progress on gathering some materials for the first floor and just the overall design. Now, let me just fly straight in. Oop. I love that. Anyways. The first change of the day, which is, oh, well, what's happening? Misclick, wrong button. Well, I mean, might as well enjoy it while we got it. So the first news of the day is, okay, right button, is this thing. Yes, we finally replaced out the temporary deep slate with the actual tuff. I still actually got to put some stairs and walls on the sides to make it look a bit more broken now that I realize it. But we've gotten rid of that, and now it kind of looks a bit more fit in. Bit more fit. You get what I mean. Anyways. But yes, while we have all this going, we can't just have nothing, as the game itself needs materials. And I'm telling you this now, but this game needs an insane amount of tuff. And like my last calculation, it was like 32 choco boxes that I needed to gather. Now this has already been gathered during a bit of a stream week that I had, where I had lots of time to stream because I injured my foot. However, I'm going to go and show you where exactly we gathered that material, as, trust me, that was painful. And here we are. Now, let me just upset my spawn just in case. Now, this weird contraption here is my deep slate mining facility. Now, originally, this was just a normal strip mine. I can get up here. However, after a while, I eventually made a tunnel bore, went that way, and then eventually went this way. But the tunnel bore kept breaking, I had to keep changing directions, and then I was just not picking enough items. So eventually I decided, oh, I need a pilot hole. So I dug a strip mine, just going straight line for a while, placing some ice, water, trapdoors, and then had the tunnel bore go alongside it. So that way I could just throw all the items here, and then when this chunk gets loaded, it just fills it all up. And I was able to gather a lot more tuff and deep slate a lot faster this way. Not to mention just mining up any tuff that was exposed. Now, don't mind how dark it is. I'm just going to slightly turn up the brightness so that you all can see. But as you can see, it went on for quite a bit. And this is after I did mention the other area. Now, for some reason, this direction, since we updated, the original tunnel board was not working. Like, there used to be some frog light here instead of another debris, and some other minor things I changed. That might actually be it. But, yeah. Just because with the update, something about this made it smaller. And then I would just... boom. Ouch. Well, what else were you expecting? Not much, eh? And then I'd do that a couple times, and then when I was ready, I'd just gather it all up. Actually, let's just make sure there's no diamonds, because, yeah. In this case, I would have needed to go over here and just got rid of the gravel. But as this is dangerous. Oh. Yeah, so this would have to be get rid of. I'm not going to fire it again because I don't want to break it. However, essentially, I would just have it so that my inventory would be clogged up with nothing but tuff and deep slate and whatever else I needed. And I would just toss it all in here. And then I would just go down. That way I could go a lot more efficiently and do a lot more without having to run back and refill shulker boxes and all. And I was able to get a ton of deep slate this way. And all the tuff I needed. Now, when I was actually building that tunnel bore, I actually needed to gather up all the netherite, or ancient debris rather. For that tunnel bore, So while I was at it, I was also getting all the other materials, such as Crimson Nylium, or the Netherrack to make it. Now back to over here, as you can see, it does get kind of spread out, but typically I would only be collecting Tough and Double Deep Slate. Everything else would stay in my inventory, and this would just come down here. So then these would just be those. However, I think that's pretty much all I'm going to show you about how I went about gathering it. And I'm actually going to go send you on some fun stuff that's been happening over at the trailer park. Boop. And here we are back at the trailer park, because we have some shenanigans going on over here once more. And yes, I don't know who did this giant chicken, but, I mean, I'm keeping it here. It looks kind of dope. Wait. Aha. Let me just... Okay, let me just get these out of my hand. Aha. Wait, I gotta get this. Aha. Okay, somewhere in here you'll have the perfect silver head just floating inside. Anyways, there's been some shenanigans going on over here. Now, over the last little while, somebody's been coming over here and just waxing all of my copper. All of it. I cannot afford that. And they've even stripped it down too, because this was just about oxidized multiple times. Now, there's only really one person I've been bugging, and that is Phoenix. You know, the cat thing, the other things, some off-camera little prankages, you know, stuff like that. The normal. And the only other person I have bothered is, well, Nim. I threw a bunch of leftover chicken feathers into Nim's trailer after the first time I got waxed. Now, as for what we have planned for this prank, well, I think it's better to just show you, so let's get right on that. And with a little bit of armor stand magic, we're done. Also, why is it leavies? I don't like these wavy leaves, so I gotta turn that off somehow. Anyways, I think we're starting to get a few too many chickens in this, area, but, well, here we are. This is the prank. Well, I mean, not the whole prank, but this is one of them. And then the person that actually was going around starting this by waxing my copper, the Theo chicken. No, I used a mushroom for the one at Nim's base because mushrooms, chickens. Needed something else other than chickens for her. And then for Phoenix, of course, well, fiery right arm. Also, you saw nothing. This'll teach them to wax my copper. And I think we're gonna go back as we finally have all the materials we need. Boop. Now, we're back at the game. Now, hope you enjoyed the extra little chickens. Those were fun to make. However, it's time to talk about the game itself. Now, when we start the game, you're obviously gonna have this crystal, which will indicate who you are, so the game knows which ender pearl to nab, and we'll select it. Now, this process here does take quite a bit of time, but this also gives it a bit of time for any items that are in the dungeon to despawn, and also helps with some other items, which I'll explain once I get a bit more into the redstone. For now, we have to wait for that portal to open. There we go. That didn't startle me at all, totally. At this point of the game, once the portal breaks, you can walk right through. Over here is where I'm planning to have a bit of a... well, not a dungeon, but you get what I mean. It's going to be a bit of a maze with some black concrete or some other style, with some blindness potions being sprayed at you. just so you can't exactly see, and you feel disorientated for a bit. And then, magically, halfway through, you appear here. Now, that is the longest floor. Now, if you look up there, you see a little block missing. I'm going to use an armor stand to hide that. An armor stand to hide that with the new scaling feature. It's pretty easy to do. Just place it on the head. And now, I wanted to use an item frame in the map originally, but ender pearls do not mix with maps and that, apparently. But this is the dungeon. Now, this actually went a lot faster. I teleported a lot faster than I was expecting. However, that's probably because that was a straight line, and the other ones is like, this is like the medium speed, because some of the other ones go on different paths. This is the standard starting point. This is where you start on the beginner mode with only one starting point. As you go lower, there's a couple more places where you can possibly start, and that's with some magic redstone stuff from the Enderway. Now, the hallways are pretty consistent, mostly just tough, deep slate, and lots of glow lichen. And I mean, an insane amount of glow lichen, like 6 shulker boxes. We're still not as bad as the tough 32 shulker boxes of tough. Sorry, I have to make tough jokes whenever I can. It is canon. Now, when I was gathering stuff... that's not good. When I was gathering the ancient debris for the tunnel board so I can get the tough and deep slate, I also grabbed netherrack so that I could have enough in here. Might have to do a trip for the next area, but the main room in this focus point here is this place, which is the library. Now, you might notice it's quite dark up there, and there's nothing up there right now, but let's just say there'll be some friendlies. What the hell am I even saying? There'll be some friends up there to help you out on your journey. And by that I mean some glowing eyes. Green eyes. If you know, you know. Now for those friends, some people have probably guessed, yes, they are phantoms. There's going to be phantoms in this room. Not sure how many. That's going to be something I'm going to have to try out with 1, 2, and then slowly see how that works. But in order to keep them out of here, there's this. Oh, the flag there. Which will have a cat inside, and that will prevent the phantoms from flying in, as they're afraid of cats, which is good use of some niche mechanics like that, which I like to use. And that would be on all 4 doorways. Now this room here has a bit of a special aspect, which is you can go down straight to the second level, or rather the second floor of this level. Yes, I know, I've confused myself with the floors and levels enough. So the catacombs and the forest, which I'll explain later, are all part of level 1 with 2 different floors. But this lets you go down and skip a little bit. However, that's not very good if, let's say, you need to get back up, which is more times than not, you actually need to get back up. But it does provide you a quick escape by just jumping into the water and boop. But once you get down here, you're kind of stuck, as you have no way back up. And you might have also noticed that these gray carpets and these bits here. Now, I'll explain this one first, but these here are hiding some glowberries, which will keep the second friends of this floor, the wither skeletons. Yes, I love torture. In their confined spaces, so that way they're not all over the place and I can control how many and where they are. It just makes life a little bit easier. However, the wither skeletons tend to hide against the deep slate, which is a very good hiding spot, so you gotta keep your eyes out. So being able to keep an eye out for a carpet like this, knowing you're entering a zone where there might be a wither skeleton or two, can save your life. Again, they don't have that much more space, and this is something that I'll have to test out once we get some beta testers, like maybe get some of the other randoms on to see if they can survive. And it's not supposed to be too hard because this is the beginner level, but it's also supposed to get gradually harder the longer you've been in the dungeon. Like right now, I could easily outrun a wither skeleton by just example, there's a wither skeleton there. I know there's one. I can quickly outrun him, and then he can't follow me. However, if I don't have any food, if I lost all my saturation, then that's going to be a whole lot harder. Because now you're not able to run as fast, and you got to be more careful. So if you're on this floor to start with, no problem. It's easy to get back out. But if you're starting on the lower floors, as you're supposed to, and you have to get your way back out, this floor becomes a lot more difficult. And that's exactly what I've been hoping for. Now, of course, this isn't the only room, as we have the King's Crypt. Name in progress, this is just literally just whatever came to mind. And this room is still yet to be done, but similarly, it will have a few phantoms flying around here. Also, a cat here. Why? Because you have a chance of starting here. Also, let me know what you think about this room, because I thought this was pretty cool idea. Also, we have a little bit of a guest in here. Primo Patra? Yep, as Creamsicle, I was showing Creamsicle around, and this ended up happening, so we have the Soup Immortal just in here forever. But yeah, like this area here, I need to make some statues, I need to get some armor stands and some skeleton skulls so that I can have them laying around in some of these empty ships. Just so that this has a little bit more details. And again, with the phantoms and the cat here, the phantoms won't attack you if you're within this area, I believe. Not so sure the exact range. So you're safe as long as you stay in this area, but they will lock onto you, and so you'll have a harder time. So if you're starting out in this room, you want to get out of here fast. And of course, again, there will be cats at the entrances so they can't leave this area. Other than that, there is also the entrance, or the exit. Now, the exit is pretty clear. Now, about the relics, you need one of those to use that entrance over there. Well, not necessarily. You could chicken out, but you wouldn't get anything for the run, so why would you? But depending on when you start, you're going to have different compasses that you can get that will lead you to different relics. For example, if you start in this room, obviously you're not going to get a relic that spawns in this room. It's going to send you over there. And because beginner mode is so close, like over there is the beginner mode just down this hall, and the exit's right down this hall, it's more just a run, that's more than anything. So the beginner run would likely have a relic in here or over there, somewhere along the route. So it's not too obvious. In fact, probably just guarantee it in here just so that there's only one possible space, because it's a beginner run. It's meant to give people a chance to learn the game. However, once you have the second round, which you could start here or the other area, which I won't show off quite yet, you won't be getting any relics in this room. Necessarily. And the reason for that is I want people to be forced to go over the dungeon. So if they're starting here, I'm going to have the relics for sure on the other side of this level. Now we're actually going to go to the next part of this floor, which if I quickly fly around here. Yes, it is quite big. This build took me forever to design, because I had to figure out different shapes so that everything fit together like a jigsaw puzzle, and I was going insane. But it's time to explain one last thing here. Also, I need to go down. Now, I want people to also stay in here for as short as time as they can. So they're going to run out, and as punishment for that, you may see some bits like this. Instead of a stair here, you have bits like this. And what does that indicate? A closing door. Now, let me explain a bit further. Okay, and what you see here is exactly the top side of one of those areas. I've only built one just for testing it out. And that's because, well, I needed to time it right. Now, for the door, it's going to have pistons and all that push up and from the side so that way you can't get out. and can't cross. But obviously, I need to hide it. So I created a custom door texture, which I don't have on the server yet, but it's going to be held in the armor stand's arm. And then once you've spent too long in the dungeon, there's a chance that this door here might close. That releases the trap door, and then this guy slowly sinks. And then what I like the best part here is the sudden increase of speed as it drops. Poof, like. And then as it gets, as the game is reset, it gets sent right back up. Now, obviously, if I go into free camera here, you'll see that there's not much space to hide said door. It's going to be exposed because it's pretty much like my cat ears. It says custom texture. Exactly what it is. However, there is something else about this. And that is that if you look at the 2 stone bricks on the side, that's going to have some armor stand books, which will change the position so it's sideways up there, and then it's facing up and down here. That way I can hide it a bit easier. And that's just going to make life quite more simple and a good way to hide it. That way the dungeon feels like it's slowly closing in on you as you go. Now, if you see here, this is one of a couple rooms that have not been made yet, and that's because I've wanted to encourage some of the other randoms to join in. I believe Creamsicle has this one. I'm not sure if she decided yet, because there's the other one she has a choice of, and we'll have to wait and see what she does. And then we have the last area, which is the parkour course. Now, it's not a hard parkour course, but it is the area that they will be forced to go down, this way rather, if they spend too much time in the dungeon. Now, you could go either way, but this way is the way they're going to go more times. Not. Unless they have a relic, it's possible, but I've made it so that it's difficult. If they fall, at least. The parkour itself is easy, but if they fall down, well, they'll be greeted by some Endermites. I just love this. And, of course, we have a data pack on here that lets us climb chains. So that's a good way to get out that makes it a bit more subtle than having ladders, which I do appreciate. As I could have just easily put in ladders, but it wouldn't have looked as good. And again, it's not too hard. It's just pretty much a crumbling floor. I did have a name for this area, but I completely forgot what I came up with. So yeah. Also, I had a little tease here making it look like they can skip, but nope, they're trapped. They have to go all the way back. Now, obviously, there are more hidden bits and rooms and all that I have not shown off or have not built yet, and those will have to wait for the game to be a bit more operational or on stream. However, everyone, I think that's going to be it for today's episode, as we have run out of time. Thank you all so much for dropping by, and to everyone who came in the streams or left a comment or even just watched the video, thank you all so much. I love every single one of you. Meow. And for those of you who might not know, I have recently redone my Discord server as it is now completely, well, working for once. I'll have the link in the description below if you're interested, and hope to see you there. Bye!